Welcome back. Come on in. Kick the door down. Don't even knock. Barge into my home. My palatial estate here in St. Henry in the Sud-West borough of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I am James. You are you. We are here for another breathtaking, thrill-seeking, heart-pounding edition of what? At Home with James, live on Twitch, the nerdiest website known to all of humankind. I hope you're having a lovely evening. It is still daytime in Montreal, despite the fact that it is currently 7 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour. Did you have a good day? I hope you had a great day, because I had a great day. Now, you might remember back to Monday's episode when it was all about having the blues, and I had the blues. I was down in the dumps. The dark hand of depression had pulled me deep down into the depths of darkness because one solitary reason. The Montreal Canadiens were coming off a loss to the Vegas Golden Knights. I was despondent. I was detached. I was not myself. Then something changed, because you might have realized that I had promoted this show as hashtag Great Mood Wednesday. And do you want to know why? Why is today so different than Monday? C'est parce que les Canadiens sont là, câlisse de mon tabarnak là. One win away from the Stanley Cup final. Now, you might be thinking, James, is this show just all about your little hockey obsession? Look, you listen to me. I've got so little. I have got so little. I live alone. I haven't had a guest in my home for the past 16 months. I say that on the show. People think, is that true? Is it hyperbole? No. I've had one person in my apartment. It was a guy coming to repaint my bathtub. The brief exchanges we had throughout the 4 hours that person was here was the most socializing I've done in my home. And now I am 2 weeks away from being double vaccinated, and I am excited. Can't you just let me have this? Now, I know that hockey and comedy, specifically improv comedy, go together like diapers and lipstick, right? You ever seen an improviser try to talk about hockey? It's embarrassing. It's like me trying to talk about math. So let me have this. I'm begging you. Outside of this show, this miracle playoff run that the Montreal Canadiens are on, that's it. It might as well be, one of them's my kid, the other one's my lover. And they both bring joy to me. And I want to feel that you are as joyous as I, right? Because in some way, this show really connects me to other people, not only my guests, but the audience. People say I don't engage. Let me engage here. We've got a lot of great people watching the show tonight. Thomas Barnwell's watching. Everybody's watching when Thomas Barnwell is watching. Look, I exhausted myself with that intro. Maybe I'm a little fed up with myself, right? You're sitting there, you're watching. James, just get on with the guests. I'm going to get on with the guests because we've got a real who's who of guests tonight. Who's here? Vance Gillis stopping by later on. This guy gave himself a haircut. You know the type of courage that takes to give yourself a haircut? I'm scared to even clip my own toenails because I'm afraid of throwing out my back. This guy's cutting his own hair. Vance Gillis cutting his own hair. This guy's a true hero. He's on, you talk about nurses being on the front lines. This guy's on the front lines of bravery as well. From now on, when you talk about nurses, and you talk about Vance Gillis in the same vein. Who else is here? Racquel Belmonte, all the way from British Columbia, BC, for the people that are into acronyms. Racquel has not been here in a month. And I have it on good authority that she is bringing her unique brand of crude humor back to the show. You want to talk about hair? Racquel was talking about before the show, her hair didn't look that good. I thought it looked good. Everyone's hair is looking good on this show tonight. You want to talk about good looking hair? We're going to talk about our first guest. He's coming to us by way of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, a.k.a. the City of Losers. You want to know why? Because the Montreal Canadiens destroyed the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So why wait, right? Why wait? I am fired up. I want to believe that you and the crowd are fired up. So let's be fired up together with our first guest. He is a man who is on his way back to the city of champions. It is Andy Assaf. Andy, how's it going?
Away les boys, let's go. Ah, mon tabarnak.
Now, Andy, I'm loving this background. I'm loving that you're jumping on board with the French that I was speaking earlier in this episode. Andy, les Canadiens sont là, mon ami. Bleu, blanc, rouge.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this new. This should be Quebec's new flag.
I love it. I love it. Andy, I mentioned it just a moment ago. You're on your way back to Montreal. Et c'est parce que toi, là, ça c'est une good chez nous, Carlis. Ça c'est une good chez nous.
Some say so. Yeah, I decided literally an hour ago, James, my roommate, who's also from Montreal originally, texted me and he said, "Hey, found a car. Can I borrow your credit card?" Because his was stolen.
Yeah, which is probably not the first time people have asked you for your credit card.
No, and not the first time I've given it too freely. Yeah. I'm a generous man. Okay.
Yeah.
But when I get like a call in the middle of the day and they ask for it, I give it to them because I'm nice like that. But
look, Andy, you know, some of our francophone friends might say that you are tout un bonhomme. Not even just a bonhomme. You are un gros bonhomme, là.
I appreciate that, James. I would not disagree with that rendition of my character.
Yeah, 6 pieds 10 pouces.
And wait till they talk about my height, James.
Yeah,
we're having an exciting.
All right. First little phallic innuendo joke for the people who don't know French. Andy was making a joke that I'm going to assume his penis size was 6 feet 10 inches.
Hey,
right?
James.
Which I think you're undercutting yourself.
Okay?
I think you're undercutting yourself.
Look, all I'll say is ça sur la coche, là. Okay, ça sur la coche.
Okay, you know all right. Well, let's take it down a notch, right? Because if we're talking dirty stuff, we're going to take away from Racquel's segment, right?
That's true. I don't want to take away the only thing she has, and the only thing that you have, which is hockey, my friend, which I'm very excited about, James. I had a huge week. I got double vaxxed.
Yeah, congratulations.
Died for 3 days and was resurrected, and then saw the Montreal Canadiens win last night. A beautiful victory.
Yeah, now, Andy, look, here's the deal. I was chatting with a friend of mine today who does not follow hockey, doesn't care, and I was trying to explain to them when you are a hockey fan, what it means to you. Now, I've been watching hockey for virtually most of my life. Yesterday was the first time that I have seen them win as many playoff games as I have ever seen. Now, they won the cup in 93. I was nothing but a wee tot then. When you're a kid, you don't understand what the hell you're watching anyways. And as I was explaining it to this person, I became overwhelmed to the point that I came dangerously close to tearing up because I just want to see them win once. Just once. And the thing that prohibits me from being as happy as I can be is that I know that heartbreak is also just as close as an overwhelming sense of happiness.
I understand that. I mean, I've look, James, I'm not going to masquerade as something else. I'm a bit of a what you would call is it a bellwether fan? Mayweather?
I think you mean a fair weather fan, but also a bandwagon
fair-skinned boy who's watched hockey when it's on the playoffs and has gotten excited in the Halleck years. I remember those memes with the Halleck stop signs.
We're talking 11 years ago.
Yeah, and was also would get disappointed when we get knocked out, but at the end of the day, look, life moved on for me. I'm not, it's not what I live for, but I do very much enjoy it. And what a good group of guys to see get this far, James.
Sure.
This reminds me of just like when you and I get together and we have a couple other friends. Dimitri is there, Mark Rowland's there. They kind of look like Dimitri's kind of like a Suzuki who's just like mid-check, on the floor.
A youngster, right? A youngster.
And we've established this. Mark Rowland is Michael Ryder, who's not currently part of the team, but should be.
I think Mark might be our version of Corey Perry, right?
That's a good analogy, yeah.
Right?
Spicy boy, always complaining about the rules.
right? He's an older man.
Yeah.
Right? He's been around the block. And who am I? Now,
Well,
if we're talking about,
come on, James. I don't think this is a question. Captain of the team, Shea Weber.
you're making me the captain.
The bear of a man. The grizzly man himself.
All right, and what does this make you?
That's a good question, James. What do you think I am?
Now, you're quite a mountain of a man too, but you're also a sensitive man, right?
Yeah.
You're a sensitive man, but you're
The
quite
young buck, Tyler Toffoli.
young buck Tyler. Yeah, why don't we make you Tyler Toffoli? Similar hair, right? Tyler Toffoli dating a beautiful woman, which you exclusively date, right? Right.
Yes.
You put that on your dating profile.
Is Tyler Toffoli dating a beautiful woman?
Dating a beautiful woman, just like you, right? You insist on beauty.
That's true.
Right?
That is a prerequisite.
Your dating profile, it says it. Don't match me unless you're beautiful.
Unless you're beautiful like Tyler Toffoli's girlfriend.
Yeah, and then you write not up for discussion.
Yeah, non-negotiable.
Yeah, it's a non-negotiable, yeah.
Who would you say is our Carey Price?
That's also me.
Okay. I was
Right,
going to say Dave
Carey
Kaufman because he's come in to try to fix tech issues.
No, Dave Kaufman is in no way. Carey Price is steady, calm, and collected. You could never use those three words to explain Dave Kaufman.
Then who is Dave Kaufman?
Dave Kaufman.
Denyo.
Yeah, you know what? That he's very like Philippe Dano. He's
Philippe
very
Dano is
reliable.
what I'm trying to
Now
say.
this is the thing. People watching this are like, "What the bleep are you guys?"
This is hockey chat, baby.
This is hockey chat, and that's fine. Look, it's my show. I'll do what I want. I feel like we've gone through enough episodes where people have accused me of frequenting ladies of the night, accused me of refusing condoms, accused me of being
politely.
Accused me of being fatherless, which I would not be wrongfully accused of. That is accurate. So I can't have fun on my own show, right? How many more episodes of this thing do we have left, right? It's not gonna last forever, right?
I'm gonna throw my computer out very soon, I think. I'm double vax, man. Fucking COVID's canceled in my
Okay,
brain.
well, let's talk about that. Andy, do you feel like a new man that you're double vaxxed?
I gotta admit, I'll be upfront. It was a rough couple days. A lot of fevers, lots of chills and headaches. It's not a pleasant thing. I'm warning everyone outright. Now, that being said, I will encourage everybody to go get vaccinated. Don't be like my yoga teacher brother who thinks that the COVID vaccine will make you impotent. It won't. I think I'm proof of that.
Things. Like they also say it turns you makes you magnetized, right? So your brother thinks that by getting the vaccine, you're not going to get your weenie's not going to get a little stiff.
Imagine if we were magnetized, James.
Yeah.
Especially around the weenie area. The thing, like, you would be able to pick up loose change between couch cushions.
Yeah.
You would, like, never lose your keys. You could just stick it to yourself like a fridge magnet.
Now, this is the thing. Let's circle back. Like, we've established that you have a real big Johnson, right? So, like those metal detectors that you use on the beach that are magnetized? You could literally unzip your pants and unfold your weenie and pick up change on the beach.
So right? You're saying my new nickname could be the Beach Sweeper.
Yeah, Beach Sweeper. Yeah. So your magnetized weenie picks up coins, bottle caps, other miscellaneous pieces of metal. Yeah.
I don't hate that.
Yeah. You are the Beach Sweeper.
Okay, well, I'm doing a little something here on the text, so just buy me some time.
All right.
I got one more for the team.
Okay. We're going back to hockey now?
Racquel Belmonte is Gallagher, but only when he's doing that face,
Right, like a little bit of a troublemaker face.
Yeah.
Right? But in reality, maybe Racquel should be Tyler Toffoli since they're both Italian.
Well, then she's stealing my guy. Now who am I? Now we're back to the drawing board.
All right, so we'll make Racquel Brendan Gallagher, right? Brendan Gallagher, short, a lot of heart, a lot of grit, a lot of endurance. I think that exemplifies Racquel. Now, Vance Gillis is on the show. Who's Vance Gillis? Vance Gillis is rugged, right? Vance Gillis is rugged. There's no nonsense. I am going to designate that he is number 44 on the back end, Joel Edmondson.
Ooh, an Edmondson.
Yeah.
I like that. I was going to say Armia. Kind of got like a stoic energy.
Yeah,
Or a Petrie.
Jeff Petrie. I like the idea of a Yoel Armia. So he's either Yoel or Joel.
Yeah, he's Joel Armia.
Yeah, there you go. He's a combination of both. Now, Andy, look, you're coming back into town. Are you excited to be returning to a city of winners?
I'm very excited, James. It's Saint Jean Baptiste
Mm-hmm.
this weekend.
Yep.
Uh, uh, a wonderful holiday
Yeah,
where
otherwise known as La Fête Nationale.
La Fête Nationale, and you know, we can be proud of that one because the other
Yep.
one we definitely can't be this year.
Sure.
And you know, I'm gonna probably drink a large a 40 ounce of malt liquor in a park to celebrate, like I did when
Yep.
I was 14, and
Maybe
then watch.
listen to some Quebec music, perhaps.
Yeah, why not? Let's listen to some freaking jolly
J'ai des
old.
boulets. J'ai des boulets. You can listen to a bit of J'ai des boulets.
I want to hear some spoon music tomorrow.
Spoon. Oh, you want to hear like La Bottine Souriante. That's
Yeah,
what you want.
Yeah, I might go to one of your wonderful restaurants that you're allowed to eat inside and eat a freaking déjeuner with some creton.
Déjeuner, peut-être un petit poutine, là.
Peut-être. And, you know, I'm just
Maybe
going to...
you could have un déjeuner avec des crétons.
Yeah, that's what I would like. Yeah, please.
Maybe instead of the poutine, maybe a late night Fritz house.
And maybe a Fritz sauce, too, next to the poutine.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fries and gravy, but we'll do it. And then at night, God willing...
Hold on now. Could you imagine going to a restaurant? The lady comes up to you and she goes, "C'est quoi ta commande?"
Ouais.
Say, "Allô, madame, je vais prendre une grande poutine avec un Fritz sauce à côté."
Yeah, with a side of more poutine minus the cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now you're talking about how you're going to wrap your night up as we begin to wrap things down here.
And finally, inshallah, you know, I've been a good Muslim this year.
Mm-hmm.
Please give this to me, God. At night, we'll see the Canadiens enter the finals for the first time since 1993 when this baby boy was born.
Yeah. And then we'll all be singing. We'll bring everything. We'll be showering ourselves with des frites patates, sauce brun, and then we'll be singing the most famous French song of all time. Ta-la, 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 les Canadiens, ta-la, ta-la, ta-la,
With
les
some spoons
Canadiens,
going.
les Canadiens sont là. How do you like them apples?
I love it, James. I can't wait to be home, man. I'm going to give you a big hug now that I'm double vaxxed, and you can't...
Well, I'm not double vaxxed yet, so.
It doesn't matter. You can't say no. And I'm going to tell Dimitri that you invited me over to watch the game, even if that's not true, just to make him jealous. And it's going to be great. We're going to have a great time.
Look, I love when my friends vie for my attention. Andy, thanks so much for jumping on, having a little chat with me off the top, and now we send you back to the board where you do free labor.
Hey, the beach sweeper's here, James, whenever you need him.
The beach sweeper is here whenever you need him. Thank you so much to my long third-legged friend. Right? That's Andy Assaf, folks. Now, there's another reason I'm in a great mood, because I have got a colossal announcement. Now, we teased this earlier on in the year. This coming Friday is going to be a very special episode of At Home Live on Twitch, because we are going to produce the first ever At Home Fringe Festival. That's right. 3 acts. We did the lottery. We did the early birds. We've got 3 acts. We've got some international acts. Coming to us all the way from Sweden, we've got the lady who makes her own underwear, Yoda, and also Mark Rowland. It's the world premiere of his clown show, Bujo, and a third act that is yet to be announced. That's right. It is the At Home Fringe Festival. It runs from 9:00 p.m. to 10:00 p.m. Some of these other Fringe festivals, they go 2 weeks long, right? And they're all day. This festival, it's 1 hour. You get 3 shows in 1 hour. 4 if you include this one. We're going to have a jury. There's going to be a whole thing. And it might be a huge mistake. That's this Friday at 9:00 p.m. Let's welcome our next guest back after a little bit of an extended break. I don't think she speaks any French, but maybe we'll give that a try too. Let's welcome Racquel Belmonte back to show. Racquel, ça va bien? Oui ou non? Réponds-moi maintenant.
Oui, bonjour, mon petit ami James. Une petite cutie? Yeah, I can speak en français too. So
I really
fuck all of you.
really liked Mon Petit Ami, my little friend. My little friend.
I can also ask, and I feel like we've talked about this before. I can ask if you like the sport volleyball.
Please.
James, est-ce que tu aimes le volleyball?
Absolument pas.
What?
That translates to absolutely not.
Oh,
Now, Raquel, let me ask. Sometimes we have the overarching idea for the show, but then we find a theme. So French might be the theme tonight. Now,
I think
what's it
so.
like? What's it like in British Columbia? Do you guys have to take French classes, or is it one of those things that like you have to, and then it is offered to you by way of choice?
James, I'm really happy you asked this. We're taught French since kindergarten. I used to win the French award every single year in elementary school. I think it's because they needed to give awards out to students and they didn't know what to give me until they realized, oh, she does acting. Then they started giving me those awards.
Sure.
But I used to win the French award for my excellence in French within the elementary school curriculum.
Yeah.
What do I have to show for it? None peu.
What was that now?
No, not much. Not.
I like that you're learning French. What you've been left with is speaking English in a French accent that is more Parisian than it is Québécois.
C'est bien. C'est oh mon Dieu.
Let me ask you, what is the perception of Quebecers in British Columbia? This I'm changing the theme of the show. This is no longer Great Mood Wednesday. This is pre-Fête Nationale night. So tomorrow is Quebec Day. So what would you say has been the overarching perception of Quebecers in BC?
I think a lot of people over here think you guys. I don't want to, I'm not going to say
generalize. I don't care.
You guys, no.
Just say it. Just say it.
I'll be honest.
Probably true.
I just know y'all speak French and y'all want to be your own thing. Yeah, that's what we're saying about you.
Yeah. That's probably due to a large number of Quebecers wanting to separate from Canada, which is not the majority. Majority goes, no, we like it.
Mais non.
Yeah.
You want to know something else, James? Actually, another French thing that I have done for myself in high school. In grade 12, we did Beauty and the Beast as our production, and I played the feather duster. So I had a French accent. I was a very sexual character for a 16-year-old, and that shouldn't have happened. Don't know how that slid through a Catholic school.
It's a time.
It did.
It's a time. 16 is a time when you're discovering yourself.
Yeah, I guess.
Unless you're me, that hit at 26.
Oh, good for you. At least it hit. At least it hit.
It was late, borderline very late, but it did hit. Yeah.
James, mine hit hard and hasn't gone away since. I feel like I've been going through puberty for like 20 years.
That sounds like torturous, right? Because
it does. It is.
There are people in life, and there's no right. You talked about. I don't want to refer to you guys as Quebecers. Do it right. There's no problem there. I am a Quebecer, but I think there's some people who walk around this planet feeling a little bit hornier than others.
Yeah.
Right?
It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. My baseline is like 80% ready to go. Does that resonate? Probably not.
I've never been 80% ready to go ever.
I just got a text from my family group chat saying, what the fuck is Racquel doing downstairs and what is she talking about?
Yeah, and that's how you know that we're doing this show right, because it leaves people bewildered but curious at the same time. Now look,
curious
segue. You're talking about your baseline being 80%. It would not be an appearance on this show if it wasn't driven by adult-oriented content. Now, you presented an idea to me, and I would have never linked these two things together, but it is very much in line with your identity. I don't know how many shows we have left of this thing. This might be the last ever episode. I don't know.
No, don't do that.
Okay, we're not going to end it tonight.
All right. I saved the show.
You saved the show, so...
woo! What do French people say when they celebrate?
Yeah, woo, I think works. Woo in French. People still woo in French.
Anyways, continue. Continue-moi. S'il vous plaît. Monsieur James.
Yeah, this
myself
that character. Yeah, that character became horny.
I didn't mean for it to. I was grabbing my thighs, not on purpose, just because they're
it's your
there.
baseline. It's your baseline.
Okay,
right?
let's get to it, James. Let's get right on top of this.
Again, a great segue. You presented an idea. I would have never found a correlation between the two. Racquel, would you like to present your thesis for tonight?
I would. Thank you for asking. James, I got away for so many years without watching the movie Ratatouille.
Okay.
I've never seen it. I had no interest in seeing it. It was in my brain, from what I remember, it was just supposed to be about a chef who cooks French food.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I could not tell you much about French cuisine besides baguettes and cheese. And I'm obsessed with that. But I don't care enough to watch a movie about a rat cooking.
Neither do I.
Rats. Not a unpopular opinion. Don't like them. Wow, was I wrong? I was wrong. The movie was about so much more than that. So I watched it. As you know, I talk about my age quite a bit because it's a sensitive subject. I'm 29.
Racquel, great age. Great age.
I want to die most of the time. But anyways, I'm 29, so I've lived a life. I have
hold on here for a second.
You're
right. I'm going to turn 34 on the exact same day you turn 30.
Yes.
You want to die at 30? Yeah. I'm already on my. I'm already in hell if that's the point.
No, here's the thing. I don't mind being 30. It's just the 20s. I'm done. You get to a point where you're like, I've done all of this. I don't need this anymore.
Yeah. You've had enough.
Kill me and I'll come back.
You've had enough of listening to Simple Plan and going to water parks and hanging out with men that have rolled up toques over their ears.
Love those. I still love those. That's my problem.
You're going to take down your Franz Ferdinand posters, right? You're over it.
I wish I was that kind of teen. Ew, did you see that? I went like this. All accident. All accident. I've
Racquel,
never actually.
I think we need to. I want you to embrace who you are on this show, right?
Yeah. Well, Mamma Mia.
Right.
I know more French than I do Italian.
Look, we're gonna put that to the test at some point. Anyways, we're getting existential, and that's my fault. Let's continue on this Ratatouille theme.
Yes, so I am an adult now who is watching this children's show, and all I could think of, James, the entire time is, why is this movie so sexual?
Okay, now
why is it so horny? Why do I feel weird watching this? Okay, what were you gonna say?
I want to examine this for a quick second. So I've never seen it. Is there a possibility that, because you mentioned your quote horny baseline is at 80%, you were reading into things that might not be otherwise horny to others?
Maybe, but I brought some photos to show you what I mean by that. I don't need them quite yet, but I do want to tell you, the whole movie is about a rat who is into hair pulling, which also nothing wrong with hair pulling. Big fan of that. That's why I was sitting watching. I'm like, are other people thinking this one?
Yeah.
Like okay, so he's pulling his hot friend. I think the guy in it is very hot. Alfredo Linguini, that is his name. I am very attracted to him. We'll get to that in a second. I put a photo. He looks like most of the people I've dated in the past, I don't know how many years.
Okay.
Anyway, it's like a hair pulling thing, and he likes it, and he cooks because of it, and it's very interesting. And maybe now we'll show the pictures because it's just yes. Okay, so that's the rat, whose name is not Ratatouille, by the way.
Okay.
Which is stupid. His name is Remy, which is boring.
Okay.
Don't think he's very hot.
All right. So we've got a little hair pulling rat that you don't think is hot, also has a French name.
Yeah, is Remy a French name?
Yeah, Remy is a very French name. Remy.
Remy. Okay, well, when you say it that way, like
I think I prefer the way that you say it because it sounds like a engine starting as you get ready to go into Remy. You're like Remy.
Remy.
Yeah.
Remy.
Yeah. It sounds like a lawnmower that won't quite activate.
I feel like that's a lot of how I sound when I speak French.
All right.
Not wrong. Great observation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a hair pulling rat, what I couldn't make sense of in this whole thing is, how is the hair pulling helping? How is this helping him move and know what to do? I'm like, I think like pulling each other's hair, and he's inspired by the hair pull.
Yeah.
So there's a second photo. If Andy
Okay.
can throw that up.
Here we go. It's on its way. So once again, we're trying to find the correlation of, is Ratatouille a dirty movie? Oh, here we go. So we've got an extreme close-up on what looks to be a very orgasmic look on Remy's face.
Yeah, like he's enjoying it.
Right.
He likes it. Which there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But then market the movie that way. Don't be like, oh, Rat helps a hot guy cook.
Yeah.
No.
Now this to me, I'll tell you what I read as someone who's not seen it. This seems like a mischievous, playful, troublemaking rat, which I suppose you could take those characteristics and apply it to lovemaking.
I guess.
Right?
Yeah. James, do you like pulling hair?
Do I like pulling hair? Well, look, this interview is not about me, so we're gonna.
I would love to know, though. I would like to know. Do you like having your hair pulled?
You know, I'm not. I'll tell you what. It's not often I get rattled on this show, but you've done it. I would say that I'm not into violence.
Okay. All right. Well, you should have somebody else similar to me come on this show, and we can talk together. I feel like I'm crazy.
Right.
I feel like I'm insane for thinking all this.
Right.
But
Well,
I don't know.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Thank you.
Now, you might be right considering what you have read into with these pictures.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I needed to hear. I love knowing I'm right. Anyways, James, I took it upon myself to bring also the hottest characters in the show.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so we have Alfredo Linguini. I am very attracted to this little dweeb. Like this guy. Is he on?
Here we go. The image is, now you said little dweeb.
Yeah.
Yes, this is very accurate. Almost like a 3D version of, this reminds me of Alfred E. Newman, who was the animated spokesperson of Mad Magazine.
Oh.
Yeah, this is kind of is a little Alfred E. Newman-like. Yeah.
Okay. I don't like that.
Giant ears and a giant nose, a little shy, right? Could be kind of a little cutie, right?
Yeah, but he's tall. He's got to be like 6 foot something. And he's thin.
So sometimes look, that's like if you make me 6 foot tall, but you have these long, stringy limbs.
That's awesome. Embrace that.
Well, this is the thing. I think I'm happy with my height, but if I was 6 foot if I was Andy's height, but as slight as I am, I don't think it would work. I'd look like a guy who's got like 100 cigarettes attached to each other for arms. But I understand the appeal of the tall, slight man.
I like it. I'm very into it for some reason. Not for some reason. It's a very nice type.
His hair's nice. He's got nice hair. His hands look soft. He's got a job.
Yes, he has a job working up, and you end up, spoiler alert, he ends up being the owner of the restaurant who's dead. He ends up being his son. So then he gets the whole restaurant after. So he's got money.
All right. So, and you find that part attractive. Everything around his story arc. He's like a cutie. He's got a stable job.
He likes getting his hair pulled.
Okay. So it works both ways.
Yeah, no, totally. Like everyone loves it in this movie. That's the best part about it.
Right.
Anyhow, we can go to the next person, unless you have any more questions about Alfredo.
This is educational for me on a multitude of levels. I'm also I've grounded myself. I've anchored myself. I feel stabilized again.
Okay, thank goodness. Also, his last name is Linguini. That's fantastic. I'm very against changing my last name. If I were to ever get married, I would do it if someone's last name was Linguini. That's it.
You'd be okay with becoming Racquel Linguini.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It's, like, oh man, there's so much you can do there. I wouldn't even need to do anything. That would just be all name. All name, no talent. That's it. That's all I want.
All name, no talent.
I've ever wanted.
Yeah, look, that's what we're all striving for. All name, no talent.
All name, no talent.
Yeah, many people have achieved it. Anyways, let's move on.
We'll move to the next girl. She is quite the dom, and I am a big fan of her. She's beautiful. I do not remember her name, but she spoke like this, and once in a while, she would say something en français.
All right.
And it was hot. I was like, oh, she's rough. I like her.
Okay, so you like that this character is a little rough around the edges. She's got very, very seductive eyes.
Oui.
Now, this is the type of woman that would intimidate me, I think.
Really?
Yeah, a hardened lady. I'm not above being intimidated.
Well, I feel like if I were a dude, then I would want to be intimidated. I would love intimidating women. I would love that. I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah, let's think about that. If you would love intimidating women.
Oh no! Wait, sorry. Yeah,
you flipped it around. You're like, if I was a dude, I would love intimidating women.
Okay,
as opposed to what? Yes, it's what we call a word guffaw, right? You would love intimidating women, not you would love to intimidate women.
I don't want to intimidate women ever, but if I were a dude, I would only go for women like that. I'd be like, wow, I feel like a little vulnerable baby.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. But yeah, she's fantastic. We're big fans. Do you have any questions about her? Because I don't remember anything else.
I was going to ask if she has a name.
I don't remember it. I'm sure she does. I'm sure she does.
Well,
she's
look,
like a big part.
She's got she's very striking, very very sharp points, a lot of sharp features. Also, I read a lot of confidence, right? A side smirk, right? Yeah.
And she drives a motorcycle.
Okay, so this is a hardened lady. This is a hardened lady.
It's Colette Tattoo. Oh, Colette Tattoo. How awesome is that? Tattoo? We love tattoos, James.
Yeah, look, that's a strong tattoo. Yeah, that's a strong last name. And Colette just reeks of status.
Yes, and we love that. Anyways, this is all contributing to why I think this is like a very horny movie.
Okay.
Now, this is the final one.
Okay.
This rat is huge. This is like a big rat. A big rat. This is a big rat. Yeah. I don't remember his name, but he talks like this. He kind of sounds like, well, I hate Vin Diesel, so that's not a good thing.
Well, yeah, it sounds like you're kind of doing like a classic mafioso voice.
Oh, yeah. And he's got like an earring, which is just like, because he used to get tested on.
Yeah.
Which is clever. That's like his like tough guy earring.
Yeah.
Very attracted to this rat. One of my friends told me, Rack, you're really gonna like the big rat. And as someone who doesn't like rats, I fell for this guy.
You know, what is it? Is it his stature, his attitude? What is it?
Both. He doesn't talk much, which I love. And when he does, it's like this, like, this is how I speak. And that does it for me. So
he's kind of the strong, silent type.
Yeah.
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 He's the type of rat that could carry you to bed after you drank too much and barfed all over your feet.
See, James, I feel like every time I come on the show, I get closer to what I actually want.
Yeah.
So what I want from a person. And we all know I'm going to be wearing my slides. I won't lift my leg up because I'm wearing short shorts and no one needs to see that. But we all know I would throw up on my feet because of my slides. So that's what I want. I want that.
You want a big guy to carry you after you vomited everywhere.
And if I were a Pixar rat, you better believe this guy's carrying me to my rat nest. I'm assuming that's where they hang out.
Now, I wonder if there's anyone watching or anyone who does watch that might be interested in drawing up like what you would look like as a Disney Pixar rat character. Oh. And then you could be this. I'm pleased with this name, but I feel bad saying it. Racquel.
Right? I hate it, but I love it.
Yeah, right. I don't take any joy in it. No one wants to call another person a rat.
I like it, Racquel. And it kind of just, I don't know, don't like Italian people and mafiosos call each other rats all the time, like you rat.
Yeah, they're accusing them of speaking. Oh, look in the chat right now. We've got the first hashtag Racquel.
Oh, whoa.
Racquel.
Official.
Now,
I love it.
Now we have to find someone who could draw you as a Disney, like if you were in this movie, the number 2 to this this tough rat that you're very much interested in, what would that person's special someone look like in the case that it's you?
Well, it should have front bangs. I know I don't have front bangs
Yeah.
right now, but my
Okay,
hair is shit
Let's
today.
talk about special requests. So you
Yes.
want front bangs. What else?
Front bangs. Big lips. I want it to look fake, kind of like
Yeah.
they do right now. I want that. I need that.
Front bangs, big fake lips. What else?
Yep. And what do I want? What's like a feature? You pick. What do you think?
I would maybe, because like if the other rat has an earring, I think you need a similar accessory too.
Should I have a tattoo?
Yeah, some type of rat tattoo.
But what, like I got tested on, so there's like a burn, like as a tramp stamp kind of thing.
Yeah, some type of code.
Yeah. I love this. If they do another Ratatouille, I would audition for this character.
Well, look, I'm gonna put a challenge. I'm gonna put a challenge out there right now. Friend of the show, the chief political correspondent, quote, Dave's best friend, Sid Rock is watching right now. He is quite the drawer. Sid, I wanna issue a challenge. Can you draw Racquel as a rat from the movie Ratatouille with the following features: a tattoo, bangs, and quote, big fake lips?
Yeah, I love this. This is fun. Sid, I love that.
We're gonna see if he's got, Sid, you have what it takes. You have what it takes. Put your money where your mouth is. Accept the challenge.
Put your money. How do you say put your money where your mouth is in French? Let me take
us
out on a high note.
I don't know if that is a saying that is also translatable to French. Like, mets ton argent.
Mettons l'argent.
Where your où ton bouche est.
Où ton bouche est.
It doesn't work. Yeah, no.
No one liked it.
Yeah, so in the chat right now, what's the French equivalent to put your money where your mouth is? Doesn't have to involve money, but is there an equivalent? Racquel, I don't know if we're going to get it in time.
That's okay.
And it looks like I can confirm that Sid looks like he is taking on the challenge. He's doing a recap here. Big fake lips, a tattoo, and what else? Bangs, front bangs.
Hell yes. I'm excited. Thank you, Sid. What an honor to work with you.
What happens on this show. We make dreams come true, right? We make dreams come true. Racquel, I'm sold. This is a horny movie.
Thank you. It is.
It's a horny movie. If you believe it, I believe it. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You flustered me. Doesn't happen often. You took me off track. I put me back on course. I'm fine and I'm dandy like sugar candy. Racquel, are you going to come back next week?
I will try to come back next week.
Okay.
I promise I will try.
Racquel, we've done it again.
We've done it again. Best show. Put it in the books as the best show.
Put it in the books. Racquel, thanks so much for being here. Have a good night. We'll get that drawing to you ASAP.
Au revoir.
Au revoir, mademoiselle. That was Racquel Belmonte. Probably better French than mine. My French is not good. When I'm talking French in my own voice, sounds very poor, as an Ontario and would like to say. When I'm doing it with a bit of a character voice, not bad. Look, let's get to another person whose French is also not that great, but passable, just like mine. I talked about him before. This guy cut his own hair. He's on the front lines. Let's welcome back to the show, Vance Gillis. Vance Gillis, ça va?
Ouais, bonjour.
Hey, bienvenue. Merci d'avoir été ici ce soir, Big. You like that?
Aujourd'hui.
You're telling me it's not nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not nice. Yeah, frontline worker. That's good to know. I didn't know that. Someone who works in an improv theater could be a frontline worker.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. You work at an improv theater. You're dealing with a barrage of annoying emails at all times. So you are a frontline worker. You're basically the complaint booth.
No, but I mean, I'm servicing the public.
Yeah.
And helping them get through this pandemic experience.
Yeah, that's what we call a political answer, and I love you for it. Vance, I want you to tell me right now, is this a good show tonight? We doing a good show?
It is a good show. I'm going to challenge that, though, with this segment, I think.
Yeah, Yeah. Okay. So last time you were here, you talked about a project that you've been working on, a podcast that I challenged you to release, I believe 2 days later.
Yeah.
That has
Didn't
not
do
happened. It was a bold challenge.
Yeah.
Podcast where you go over unusual crimes. You told a story about a bunch of hillbillies that opened up a bootleg firework factory, and then the barn exploded. A very sad story, and I made fun of it all the way through. And I said, Vance, this podcast is not out yet, but I want you to come back and tell me another fun story.
Right. And here I am. And but it's weird because this is good. What's the hashtag tonight? Good mood, James.
Oh, it is Great Mood Wednesday.
Great Mood Wednesday. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see if this continues or not.
All right.
This is a really simple story though, and I'm just going to tell you about it because I don't know. Maybe this will tickle you in some way, and I believe it has a happy ending.
I am ready to be tickled and to receive a happy ending.
All right. So this is the story of the attempted hijacking of FedEx Express Flight 705.
Right. Okay.
So this
on paper, not funny.
Not funny.
Yep.
Not appropriate in any situation to bring it up, really. But I love my disasters. So let's dive in. So this is April 1994. This is I think it's in Miami. I did not check. I should have checked. It's coming from Memphis. So this is a cargo flight for FedEx. So FedEx cargo planes, they have like a crew that's flying, obviously, and then the rest of the plane is literally just cargo. So it's just completely filled up. This flight had a passenger, and so they call it deadheading when you're bringing a passenger who works for the company to a different area. They're just basically along as to get transported somewhere else. So there were 3 crew members on the flight. So there's a 49-year-old captain named David Sanders, and then there's a first officer named Jim Tucker, and then there's a flight engineer named Andrew Peterson. So they were the crew. The 3 of them knew each other really well. They'd flown with each other a bunch. And then the guy that was deadheading was a flight engineer named Auburn Calloway.
Right, which it sounds like the name out of some erotic book.
It really does, yeah. Like Auburn Calloway is,
or a level 1 improv student.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Everyone's going around the circle. It's like, oh, my name's this, my name's that. Then you get to What was it?
Auburn Calloway.
Yeah, you get to Auburn Calloway, and then in your brain you're like, that ain't no real name.
Yeah, I once had a guy in a level 1 class that had the last name Snuggle.
Snuggle? What a
that
cutie.
Can't be the birth name anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything's normal. This is a normal thing to be deadheading people and to be moving them to different airports. But there's a little bit of background to give you on Auburn, the passenger. So he was a former Navy pilot and a martial arts expert.
Great. Okay. Now this is getting real good.
Yeah. He went to Stanford University. Unfortunately, so when you're a pilot, you have to verify your flight hours. So that's how they refer to pilots all the time, is like how many flying hours did they have? So that's hours where they're actually in control of the aircraft in the air. So he was trying to build up to become a captain or a first officer or whatever, the 2 people in the seats really running things. And he falsified flight records. So he was in trouble. But he hadn't been suspended or anything, but it was like in the midst of something was going to happen.
Right. Okay.
So he was having a tough time. So, which they didn't know. They didn't know that. They just thought this was a friendly guy. Everything seemed normal, and he was very friendly before the flight. He, for some reason, got on the flight first before the crew did, that is very unusual. And when the crew got on, the first officer noticed that a circuit breaker had been pulled. So the circuit breaker powers a lot of the functions of the plane. It also powers the black box, as well as the flight data recorder. So the first officer put the circuit back in so that the power was restored, and then they took off and everything was good. And so they were flying for about 20 minutes. And then after about 20 minutes, Auburn got up from his seat, which wasn't in the pilot's area. It was actually in the in the back of the plane. He got up from his seat and he went and got a guitar case that he took on the plane.
Right.
Which, again, this is another red flag.
Yeah.
There's a lot of red flags
Yeah.
for this guy. His name, he's a martial arts expert.
Yeah.
He brought a guitar on a plane.
Yeah, I was hoping you're gonna say he gets up and rips off his clothes and he's wearing a martial arts gi. I'm ready to take over this plane, and he's like getting into a fighting stance.
I feel like if this was a reenactment on like a Fox show, that's what would happen.
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
Like,
It'd be like Terry Crews would play this guy.
Yeah, the writers are like, how do we add some spice to this? What if he's in a martial arts gi? Yeah. Before or after he gets the guitar? Why not before? So
why not before?
He gets his damn guitar case, okay?
So he's got his guitar case, and he brings it over to his seat. And again, he's not in the cabin, so they don't see him.
Yeah.
In his guitar case, he has 2 club hammers, 2 claw hammers, a spear gun, and a knife.
Yeah.
So he grabs one of the claw hammers and he goes into the cabin with the pilots, and he attacks all 3 of them.
Yeah.
As they're flying the plane. So they've only been in the air for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So he attacks all 3 of them. They're all horribly injured by this.
And I want to circle back to his arsenal of items. It's like the equivalent of when you're going to a place, you're like, I can't pick. Should I get the club hammer?
I mean, he brought 4 hammers.
And
what was he thinking was going to happen?
Maybe his wife's there like, well, honey, why don't you just get all of them? One of each.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I work hard. I should treat myself. Give me the 2 club hammers, the knife, and I'll take that guitar case too.
I like that he's got a squeaky voice.
Yeah. He's this Auburn. That's why he does martial arts, because he's a wimp and people picked on him, and now he's beating people up with club hammers. Okay, so he does a number on everyone on the plane.
He does a number on everyone, and he's like, they're incapacitated. They're done. So he goes into the back to get his spear gun because he wants to finish everybody off.
Yeah.
So his plan is to incapacitate everyone and then continue to fly the plane for at least another half an hour. Because what happens on the flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder is that they actually tape over themselves every 30 minutes.
Got it.
So if you're an hour into the flight, the recorder is currently recording over what happened exactly half an hour ago.
Yeah.
So when the plane lands, the flight data recorder has only recorded the last half an hour before landing occurred. So what he wants to do is make the plane stay in the air for another half an hour, then I guess crash it, so that his family will receive insurance money. So he wants it to look like it was an accident. And
so this guy is riding the line of insanity.
He's fully past it. He's decided to go past it.
Yeah. What am I saying? He's no longer riding the line. He's taken it off the line into the cosmos.
He brought 4 hammers. What was he going to do with 4 hammers?
Yeah.
And a spear gun. So anyway, so he goes and he gets a spear gun. He comes back after he beat all 3 pilots with a hammer. And one of the pilots turns around in his seat, spins around in his seat, and grabs the spear gun, and then starts punching him. Yeah. And then the flight engineer gets up out of his seat, and then he and the captain start wrestling with this guy. Yeah. And they're in the cockpit. Yeah. So the first officer is now in control of the plane. Yeah. He begins doing like aerial moves to really
like it's some like 4th of July air show.
Yeah, but with a full passenger plane. So or the full commercial plane. Yeah. So he's doing these aerial moves to get them out of the cockpit, and it works. So they're going up at a 15-degree angle. Yeah. And everybody falls through the open door. Yeah. Out into the cargo area. So they're all fighting over this spear gun, and the pilot is actually unable to move his legs. He's just temporarily paralyzed below the legs, so he can't even get up to help if he wanted to. He's also been really badly injured, so he has blood coming down, covering his face, and all he can do is move his arms and his hands. So meanwhile, they're all fighting him in the back, and they're having sort of this 3-way fight. Auburn gets the upper hand again. So even though it's 2-on-1,
he uses his martial arts prowess.
He uses his martial arts. He's a big martial arts guy.
Yeah.
So they're all fighting. So the pilot again is like, okay, I got to bring some aerial moves here. So he brings the plane almost inverted, going straight up to throw them even further back.
Yeah.
And so he had to obviously come out of this at some point. So as he did, they all got pinned against the ceiling of the plane as they were doing this. So anyway, so they are continuing to struggle. The pilot, the co-pilot, the guy that's flying the plane, he's sort of losing consciousness as he's playing. This is happening. So after flying sort of these supersonic speeds, the two very injured pilots start just beating him in the face, this Auburn guy. And apparently, even though he's this tough martial arts guy, he can't actually take too many of these, and he sort of folds in on himself.
This is amazing, where it's like, where it's like, he's highly dangerous. He carries around weapons, and he's skilled at martial arts. His one weakness, he gets beaten up really easily.
His being punched in the face. His weakness is being punched in the face.
Yeah. Is there anything we need to know? Does he have an Achilles heel? And like the guy's like, yeah, he's got one. Can't handle getting punched in the face. Anyways, I'll see you out there. It's like a worst action movie. Like usually these action movies, when they're able to like take over the bad guy, it's like something clever. Like in Commando, Arnold Schwarzenegger throws like a pipe through someone. This guy, like if there was something like, quick, punch him in the face, and it works.
Yeah, exactly. And so this Auburn Calloway guy is being pinned down by the captain, who lost all feeling and all use of the right side of his body as this was happening. Only temporary, that wasn't a lasting thing, but in that moment, he had no use of his right side. And the other guy, they had ripped open an artery, which is just gross, but
well, you're
sure
just
that
spouting blood every time your heart pounds when the artery's been damaged.
Yeah, and they were pinning this guy down, so he really failed there. So anyway, so the co-pilot is having to bring the plane back to the airport. The problem is that the plane for these long cargo journeys is loaded up fully with fuel. So with all the fuel and all the cargo, there was a real danger that the plane would come apart upon landing. Also, this guy is now having a hard time seeing as he's flying. The captain can't take over because he has no use of the right side of his body. Also, they need to keep this Calloway guy down because even though they've beaten him, he still wants to
kill them.
To kill them.
Yes.
He should have just brought a guitar.
As they're holding him down. Oh, come on. Just let me kill you. Let me kill you, please.
So anyway, so they come in for the landing. Remarkably, they have a perfect landing. Everything is fine. The cops rush to the plane on the tarmac. It doesn't come into like a gate or anything. It doesn't go in park. It just goes to the end of the runway. The cops come on the plane. They find just a horrifying scene of just blood everywhere. There's blood all over the cockpit. But this guy has been pinned to the ground. So they apprehend this guy. Obviously, all three of the flight crew, all three members of the crew were badly injured. So I'm gonna just read off the injuries that they had, and yet they were still able to overpower this guy. So the pilot, the left side of his skull was severely fractured. The first officer had, the pilot also had a dislocated jaw. And Auburn Calloway tried to stab his right arm. And the first officer had gashes and injuries to his head and his ear. And the flight engineer's skull was fractured and his artery was severed. And yet still they were able to land the plane safely. So all of this to say all three of the flight crew were rewarded for their bravery.
Yep.
And this Auburn guy was pleaded to temporary insanity,
Yeah.
which they went for. They were like,
Yep.
okay, but they went back on it and sentenced him to 2 consecutive life sentences.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying he's in jail?
He's in jail, unfortunately.
Oh,
yeah.
no, not Auburn.
But I bet if there's ever like a Con Air type thing, he'll be like, "Oh, I've been on a plane before." A real life Con Air type situation.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing? Is that would people use that as a cultural reference?
I think so. It's allowed. I say, hold on, I'm getting in production note. Mm-hmm. Yep, it's allowed on this show.
Okay, good. All right. So anyway, so that's the story of the attempted hijacking. Everyone was okay after this, except for that Auburn guy, who really screwed up. His wife claimed that she had no idea that he was going to do this.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a shitty call to get in the middle of the day of like, hey, we've got your husband here, and he tried to crash an airplane, and are you missing some claw hammers? Because we've got
you know what? She should have saw a warning sign when she married a man named Auburn.
Yeah, who's a martial arts expert that went to Stanford University.
Who carries things in a guitar case?
Yeah. So anyway, that's the story. So I hope I didn't bring the mood down too much.
You know what? You didn't bring it down. I found that funny. I found that story funny. Look, Vance, the thing about you and me is we've always been able to find comedic elements in highly
inappropriate things.
Yeah, right. So it's just like the martial arts thing was funny. His array of weapons, his name, his stupid name. Look, I'm ready to call it right now. This guy is a loser.
Yeah. That's why I brought this story. I've been really nervous telling this story for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, it hits close to home because you love planes.
Well, because I love Auburn. He was a really good friend. And
yeah, this is the thing. He was actually a friend of yours.
Yeah, I was 9 years old when this happened.
Yeah.
And he was
most martial arts experts love hanging out with children.
Yeah, he was 42. So don't tell my parents.
Yeah, no, we'll keep that under wraps. So Vance, look, I want you to be what's the progress on the show coming along? Is it going to happen?
I'd say there's about a 30% chance that it will.
30%.
I just get uncomfortable. I'm really interested in reading these things and having and talking about it in conversation, but I get real tongue-tied when I have to present it.
How about this? I love that you were like 30% chance. So it's not looking good, right? It's not looking
good. No.
If someone were to say, having trouble with my relationship, well, you think you guys are going to stay together? If someone said, well, 30% chance. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, that relationship's probably over. But Vance, what about this, right? You talked about how you like telling the stories, you like talking about it. Why don't you just come back and do it on the show? Let's just do it again and again and again.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah, I can do it again. Look, I'll do it again. If this is what you want it to be, I'll do it.
You talked about getting tongue-tied. I want you to use this show as your practice pad, right?
Sure.
You don't even.
I just think that so often people get weirded out by stuff like this.
Vance, have you watched this damn thing, right?
That's true.
Talking about wanting to get her hair pulled by rats and stuff like that. Andy's whipping out his wiener at the beach. I could go on and on forever, baby. Yeah.
That's good. I get that reference too.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Well, look, Vance, the holidays are coming up. So we know that by the time the holidays are around, because of course that was a Home Alone reference. Mm-hmm. We'll be doing 30 days. Let's say 30 days of holiday programming.
Right.
So not only will you be back to tell us some more horrible stories that I find funny, I want you to find a Christmas one too.
I will. I will do that. I will do that. I would also really love. Here's the thing.
Yeah,
I will do that if you bring back Santa Claus before the holidays. That's what you got to do for me, and I'll do it for you.
Vance, look, I announced the breaking news that we were going to have the first ever at-home Fringe Festival,
which is incredible.
This Friday. Yeah, I'm also I'm in charge of the Fringe Festival. I'm curating it, right? I'm a member of the jury. I'm also selling concessions. I'm basically doing everything.
Right.
But this is all to say that that's not the only breaking news that I've got. In addition to the Fringe, just as we did last year, we are going to do a mid-year check-in with Santa Claus.
Wow. Because it's exactly 6 months.
It's exactly 6 months.
25th of June.
Yeah, this is a question. Should Santa be a part of the Fringe? Because I haven't checked in with Santa yet. He's a busy guy, right? He's halfway through.
I mean, he could be a judge, right? You could have
maybe Santa Claus is part of the jury of a Fringe. You know what? Look, here's what
he for sure doesn't have time to come up with. He can't put together a show. He can't put together
a show. I don't want to put that pressure on Santa, but this is what I am willing to do is I'm going to get in touch with Santa, and I am going to ensure that he is here within the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to do a Christmas check-in. So Vance, when it comes to Deal or No Deal, your ultimatum, you've got a deal.
All right, I better get to work then on finding more crimes we can make fun of.
Yes,
more tragedies that.
Vance, look, we put this together last week. I'm glad you're able to make it. We're going to do it again soon, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, that is Vance Gillis, and that's our show tonight. Now, there was a question in the chat from Sid Rock, and the question was, in regards to Racquel and Maya's request, the rat is supposed to be fat or just a rat? All I have is rat, bangs, tattoo, big fake lips. And also big fake lips was one word. In any event, Racquel's response to this, Sid, is surprise me. So Sid, Racquel, me and Racquel, we just don't have the same birthday in common. We know that when it comes to artists, they're all about their artistic vision coming to life. We don't give too many notes. We give the idea. We let the artist do what they can. So Sid, Racquel wants you to surprise her. Deal or no deal. All right? Deal or no deal. He's also saying that 1 week won't be enough time. So this means that he's taking this drawing very seriously. And I love Sid for that. Folks, that's our show tonight. I know that I was a little fiery off the top, right? I'm excited. There's not a lot for me to be excited about. That's not a cry for help, right? I live a great life. I got friends. I got most of my family is alive. But when it comes to the Canadiens, it just gives me that little bit of extra spark. So this is what I want to do. I want to ask a favor of everyone watching. I'm aware that most people who watch the show don't care about the Montreal Canadiens. Maybe say a little prayer for them tonight. Okay? Can you do that for your old pal, Uncle Jim, a.k.a. Lil Cutie, a.k.a. G-Boy, a.k.a. the Glamour Boy? Can you just say a little prayer for my Canadiens? Because them winning would make me happy. And I'd like to think that when I'm happy, you're happy. Can we do that? A lot of deals tonight, folks. Thanks to Vance Gillis, Andy Assaf, Racquel Belmonte for being here. Thanks to Sid Rock for taking on the ultimate challenge, as I'm calling it. We will be back this coming Friday for the first and only edition of the At Home Fringe Festival, live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and of course, be well.